Welcome back, everybody. It's time for the hot tags of the week. Some different news and rumors and stories and whatever the hell else is going down in the world of pro wrestling for the past couple of days that we should talk about. And before we get started, Drew's on the line.
Hi.
He's got some Gatorade with him.
Damn straight.
Took him 20 minutes to get that Gatorade.
Hey, it happens.
So if you hear, oh my god, this Gatorade, it's so good, then it's worth it. But let's start talking about some topics here. I'm going to pitch this one right away because I got a feeling that nobody really has all that much to say about it, but I wanted to mention it just in case for the people that are kind of the crossover audience between Fanboys and Smark at the moment. Eve Torres has been cast as Maxima in the Supergirl TV show. So I'm assuming nobody here knows who Maxima is, right?
Nope.
No.
But I know everybody knows who Eve is. Or at least I hope so. She is this like warrior character who pretty much only has like one plot in anything, and every time she shows up it's the exact same thing. It's that she's looking for a mate, and she always comes across Superman, and it's like, well, you're strong and I'm strong, so we should just like be together or whatever. So since it's going to be Supergirl, kind of curious what they're going to go with that. But what do you guys think about Eve Torres going into acting now? You think she'll be able to pull it off?
I mean, she kind of acted when she was in WWE. Remember the one time she pretended she loved Zack Ryder?
Oh, she did a piss poor job at that.
Yeah, she did. But, I mean, if you're forced to have to love Zack Ryder, I would understand why it might have been difficult for her to do it, because Zack Ryder kind of sucks ass. So, I mean, I've never watched Supergirl, mainly because for the one trailer I saw of the movie or TV show, they had that stupid fight song by Rachel Platinum, or Platinum, however you say her name, and I was like, nope, not gonna check it out now. No. So I doubt I'll end up checking this out for her. I might see a picture and be like, huh, cool. But yeah, I'm not gonna check it out.
Being a Superman fan, I still have not seen episode 2 onward. I fucking thought that show sucked balls.
So what you're saying is, Drew, don't watch it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I made the right choice. Thank you.
Yeah, God. Supergirl is not something that interests me at all. Not really into Superman either. But as far as her playing Maxima, I mean, none of the divas or women on wrestling television have ever struck me as like, wow, she's a really good actress. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, maybe she'll be good. If it's on, maybe I'll check out a few minutes of it, but it's not something I'd go out of my way to try to check out.
She'll pull off the look. I don't know about the actual character.
Oh, yeah.
But then again, that show sucks anyway, so who cares who shit, you know? But I am curious that she is getting into acting a little bit now, and I hope if she does do a good enough job that, you know, something can come out of this. But the last thing I want to see is now people going, well, she played some superhero, she should be like fucking the next Avenger or something like that. She should be Captain Marvel. It's like, no, let's start with something small right now. But let's move past that one. Let's go to another one here. Speaking of Zack Ryder with the whole love triangle thing with Eve and whatnot, he apparently got a new finisher recently, which I couldn't have told you that, but he's going to do an elbow drop, which is like fantastic, you know? But I will give him credit for this. I do like the name. It's the Elbro drop.
Great name. Perfect.
That's
fit.
Awesome.
See, that kind of makes up for it, doesn't it?
I mean, I haven't seen him do it yet, but he might do a nasty elbow drop.
Well, who was it that was complaining the other day about Elias Sampson?
It totally was not me.
Sounds like something you would complain about, Tony.
It was. No, I actually like Elias Sampson. But somebody brought it up. They said, isn't he just doing some stupid elbow drop as a finisher? And
that's probably his Wago.
Might have been, I don't know.
You guys have been here in 3 weeks.
Maybe I'm thinking that far back. Either way, though, we got Elias Sampson's doing an elbow drop, and now Zack Ryder's doing an elbow drop. You're getting Randy Savage fever, I guess. I don't know. But a new finisher, he's got the IC title match or whatever. I know that Peter is rooting for Zack Ryder. Do you guys think that this is any kind of like sign that he's actually going to get a push?
No,
just getting a new finisher doesn't mean you're getting a push.
Oh, that's sad. Let's talk Wyatt family. We have a fan hit Braun Strowman during the dark match on Monday Night Raw. So that's another one of those incidents that's happened over the past couple of months. But even worse, Luke Harper's injured now. Motherfucker took an injury during that match.
Damn it.
So now we have Bray Wyatt's injured, or at least partially injured. Now Luke Harper's injured. We're down to Braun Strowman and Eric Rowan are the two active Wyatt family members.
Well, the path is cleared now. Eric Rowan, future legend.
Exactly.
His work's cut out for him.
This is how it begins.
Yeah, exactly. He just has to lose all this extra weight from carrying this Wyatt family.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think's going to end up happening with the Wyatt family at WrestleMania, at the very least?
I have no idea.
Interference in the main event.
Yeah, I could see that.
Which main event?
The main event?
Oh, okay. So, on behalf of The Undertaker or Shane?
It's not the main event.
Oh, the other main event. Oh, wait, Lesnar and Dean?
Divas tag
Be a
match.
fucking jackass, all right? They're interfering in Triple H and fucking Roman Reigns.
Wow.
Guy, you would have thought that Peyton got asked an Ask Him question right there. But no, it sucks. Luke Harper down with an injury. Braun Strowman still doesn't really know what he's doing, so we're going to have to rely on him and Eric Rowan, the guy who keeps losing everything, to be the ones that are actually kind of spearheading anything that the Wyatt family does at WrestleMania. And I'm assuming that that's just the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And if that's the case, Braun Strowman's winning that. So, kind of would have been better if Luke Harper would have been a part of it. Maybe the injury's not as bad, though. I don't know. It said that he had kind of like went down and started punching the ground because he looked like he was in a lot of pain from his knee, and they had to help him to the back and everything. So, could be something serious. But, of course, the reports online are always like, we don't know, and we'll tell you later. You know.
Oh, so this is even an official freaking injury yet?
It is, but it's just not how long he's going to be out. So it could be something where he's out 2 weeks and he's, good for WrestleMania, or it could be something where
could
he's
also
out.
be where it's absolutely nothing and he's there next week, just like it was with Mark Henry.
Could be.
Something is a twisted knee is an actual injury. So if it was that, he might actually be able to be back by next week. But when you talk about knee injuries, you always got to play it safe with those.
He wasn't on the SmackDown tapings for this week, was he?
I don't think
Do
so.
you not know?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, what would Rowan and Strowman do if they were on the SmackDown tapings?
Stand there, look imposing, not actually accomplish a damn thing.
Oh, cool.
Let me double check that for sure. I don't remember seeing anything about them on that. No, actually, the Wyatt family did get into the ring, but I don't know exactly who, and they didn't wrestle a match.
Yeah, that sucks. Luke Harper is the best worker out of the Wyatt family, in my opinion. So having him out of action definitely takes a lot of steam out of the whole group. So, speedy recovery, Luke.
Yeah.
Let's talk Hulk Hogan. He won that Gawker lawsuit, but he got edited out of that Killing Hasselhoff movie. So it goes to show you that just because he won that lawsuit doesn't mean he's winning his job back in WWE anytime soon necessarily. Peyton, I know you've been following this Gawker thing probably the most out of all of us, even though it might not be all that much, but what do you think's going on with Hulk Hogan lately?
All right, well, whatever's going on with that Hasselhoff thing, I don't see what that has to do with anything with his graces with WWE.
They're working on the movie.
So
that means that
it's like one particular project. Doesn't mean they're not going to bring him in on anything else.
Yeah, it's true. But
as far as Gawker, that's far from done. If you actually, they're taking it to a higher Supreme Court for an appeal.
Yeah,
this is being taken to the next level. This is far, far from done.
The Ultra Supreme Court.
No, I actually saw that it'll probably make it all the way up to Supreme.
There's actually a good chance the appeal is going to happen.
Yeah,
like that they're going to win the appeal. Because apparently this was in court in Florida.
Yeah,
and their argument is that people were favoritizing Hogan because they're Florida people and people just love Hogan there.
Mm-hmm.
Those damn Floridians.
I saw that. It was also just because 110 million was way too much of a something you'd give Hulk Hogan just for that.
Wasn't it 130?
That's actually a perfectly legit number to get if they are found guilty of this.
That is true, but at the same time, I believe that that's really high for something as simple as a
that's actually the exact number most people get in these type of cases now.
Well, the only other... When was the last celebrity that had something like this go to court? I know that, that silent reporter for ESPN had like a peeping Tom or something like that. Took pictures of her in her hotel room or something along those lines. She got a really high amount. But other than Hulk Hogan,
TMZ gets sued all the time for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, but you never hear about it.
Yeah, because usually it's like
it's settled out of court. Right?
Settled out of court. Yeah,
it's settled out of court. Like Hogan is really pushing this fight, and there's all this conflicting evidence coming out with Bubba the Love Sponge over whether Hogan knew about whether this video was being made or not. So that's creating a lot of iffy evidence for this. So that's what I'm saying. There's an appeal that's happening, and it's going to have interesting consequences which way it goes from there.
The thing that I realize, I've always liked Hogan. I have no problem with. I actually wish the best for him. I hope he gets some type of settlement for this, because the guy really has no money now, and his name is just so bad just because of the whole how WWE just totally got rid of him last year because of the racist comments he made. So I hope the best for him, just because he's one of the legends of this business. But I saw a lot of people saying, "Oh man, WWE should bring him back." You know, it's like as if nothing happened. And when people started saying this, it's as if they didn't realize that this case was a sex tape and not about the racist comments he made. I saw a lot of people start pushing for him to come back to WWE now.
What are you talking about, Drew? This case isn't a persecution against Hogan at all. This is Hogan fighting against somebody else.
Yeah, I know, but I saw people just like on wrestling forums talk about how that WWE should allow him back now.
Yeah, like a lot of people are thinking that it's the lawsuit that WWE doesn't want to be associated with, and it's like, shit, that's not that's obviously a factor, because it doesn't do them any good to be associated with Hogan during that. But it's like, no, they got rid of him for the whole racist stuff. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's like, even if if this lawsuit was completely done tomorrow, WWE still is going to take a long ass time before they bring him back, if ever, because they got to wait for all that stuff to blow over, and
all that stuff has blown over. Nobody cares about what Hulk Hogan said anymore.
I think the longer this Gawker thing goes on, the longer that people, every once in a while, they'll bring up that.
No one gives a shit about it, because everyone's laughing now about the 10-inch penis comment.
Yes,
that's true.
That's freaking last year's news, dude.
That 10-inch penis comment was so fucking funny. That was just like, well, I don't. Hulk Hogan does. Terry doesn't. It's like, dude, really? You're going to go that route? Okay. Well, did Terry say it was okay to do the sex tape? Or did Hulk Hogan? Either way, don't be surprised if you don't see Hulk Hogan back anytime soon. But if he does show up again, then, your mileage may vary.
Do you think Hulk Hogan refers to his penis as the Hulk Hoagie?
I think it's the Hulkster. Fuck if I know. He probably refers to it as something really ridiculous, even worse than that. Drew, you might be able to help me out when it comes to this, since you're younger and all.
Yeah.
Who the hell is Fifth Harmony?
Fifth Harmony. A really shitty version of Destiny's Child or the Pussycat Dolls, and so it's just a girl group. I really hate them. They make shit music. Their biggest single is a ripoff of another terrible beat from a single that Jason Derulo did. So, yeah, I don't like them. What's up?
What's their most popular song? I don't know it.
Worth It.
It better not be the fucking trumpet.
Yeah, it's the trumpet one.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that one.
No, it's a different song. It's not the trumpet song by Jason Derulo, but it is a song with an annoying trumpet part.
Oh, that one's
annoying trumpet part.
To show how far out of the loop I am, I just came across that song "Wiggle" at that Sausage Party trailer. I was just like, "What is this whistling song in the background?" I listened to that. I'm like, "That's actually kind of catchy," even though I hate that I think it's catchy.
That was like the worst song of 2014.
Right, and I just came across it.
It's a terrible song, but I always laugh whenever I hear it.
It's really terrible.
I think it's more nostalgia now than anything.
Well, you just said that you just heard finally that 21 Pilots song that
Stressed
they've been
out,
playing.
and that song was
that they've been playing every hour on every station for the past
right.
months.
I only come across music when it's on like commercials and shit. So I've never heard of Fifth Harmony before, but apparently they're performing "America the Beautiful" at WrestleMania.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
So I don't know whether or not to like them or dislike them, but the one girl's cute. So
Well, which one? There's like 4 of them. I think there's 5.
The one that's not ugly.
I don't know what they look like. I know what they sound like, but
They look better than Charlotte. I'll give you that, Drew.
Let's see.
Okay.
The one that's good looking is I'm probably gonna butcher how she says her name. Camila Cabello.
Oh.
You know, Kevin Owens' theme right there.
I will say that, like, if you're gonna keep it with the pop culture of what's popular at the time, that's okay. Who did the American the Beautiful last year? Wasn't it the aloe black guy who did I'm the Man?
Oh, fuck if I remember.
Fuck if I know.
Anyway,
I hate pretty much every musical performance in WWE, so I always kind of block them out.
The one American Idol girl I thought did a good job. Was it Jennifer Hudson who did it, or
Clay
somebody
Aiken?
like that? Clay Aiken.
yeah,
Jesus.
sure, you're way off, but
Maybe. I have no idea.
Ruben Studdard. The big guy.
I like when Gene Okerlund did it.
He should do it again. Just why not? We should have like a barbershop quartet. Mean Gene, Pat Patterson, Jerry Briscoe.
And Brutus Beefcake.
Yeah, there you go. I legit would be interested in listening to this if that would end up happening. Who would be the lowest out of all of them?
You mean who would be like the bass or the baritone?
Yeah.
Probably Pat.
Damn, I want them to do this now instead of this Fifth Harmony group. Either way, if you like them, then that's going to be great. If you hate them, then that's going to suck. But we have one more hot tag to talk about, and that's pretty much like the big news of the week that everybody kind of seems to be revolving around.
oh, not the Gawker thing.
No, not as much that. Eric Young and Bobby Roode have left TNA, and it's looking more and more likely that they're going to NXT. So, do you guys want to see them in NXT? Do you think that they should come up to the main roster, or should they just stay out of WWE entirely? Peyton, I'll start off with you. What do you think?
I'm fine with them coming in, and we've had all these other indie guys come up and find a spot. Why not? Why not throw in Bobby Roode and Eric Young into the mix? Bobby Roode more so than Eric Young. I'd be intrigued to see. I can't say I'm clamoring for anything from Eric Young. He was never a guy I cared about in TNA all that much. He was one of those longtime TNA originals, which, man, now that he's left TNA, what do they got left going for him?
Right.
Like, AJ Styles was kind of like that company face for so long, and then when he left, it was like, oh, well, I guess Eric Young, you're the company guy now. You're the guy that everyone's kind of looked to as the locker room leader and been there since the early days. Now he's gone. Joe's gone. Rude's gone. Aries is gone.
And it's got to be weird for Storm, doesn't it? Because Storm leaves NXT to go be a tag team again with Bobby Roode, and then Bobby Roode leaves.
I wouldn't be surprised if he can get himself out of his contract.
I hope so for
because like those wrestling contracts aren't real.
What, the TNA ones?
Any of them. You can get out of those contracts if you want to. People have done it.
Well, Drew, what do you think? Bobby Roode NXT, Eric Young NXT.
I mean, I don't know what all they'll do with them. I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of did what James Storms did, just be there for a little while until they get another deal with someone else. Just go in there, help with the younger talent. I'm fine with that. If they stay for longer than that, cool. If they make it up to the main roster someday, cool. I have no problem with it. But I wouldn't be so high on them until they're actually in NXT and doing something. So, good for them to get out of that shithole TNA, because that fucking sucks. Glad you got out of there while you can.
Kaylin, any thoughts?
Exactly. It's like rats leaving a sinking ship. Not to compare these guys with rats, but,
Yeah,
TNA,
like,
TNA
what
is
a
definitely
compliment.
the sinking ship. But no, these guys are smart to get out of that. And as far as bringing them on to WWE or NXT, I'd be okay with them on NXT. It'd be cool to see how they can interact with some of the roster there. I definitely don't think they should go to the main roster right away of WWE, because there's very few people, I think, who come from outside of the company that should immediately make it on the main roster. I mean, AJ Styles was obvious, but, talking about some of the other guys, I think NXT is a good proving ground, even for guys who have been doing it for, a decade or more. I think it's a good way to see how you work with this style. So I'd be okay with seeing him on NXT for a little bit. Sink or swim.
For that matter, I don't even want to see the Bullet Club go straight to the main roster. Anderson and Gallows, and I like Gallows.
Yeah.
But I want them to go to NXT, so the hell with Eric Young going to the main roster. If anything, like, I want Bobby Roode in NXT. I think he'd be a good hand, but Eric Young, I can go without. I wouldn't mind if he just went to Global Force, or if he went to Lucha Underground, maybe, or if he went to Bumblefuck. I don't fucking care. But another interesting idea, at least when it comes to Eric Young, I don't think it applies to Bobby Roode, but we have that cruiserweight tournament coming up. That could be a good spot to bring in somebody like an Eric Young. I'd be interested in seeing that, because they haven't announced anybody yet for that, have they?
They announced that they're having, like, Sami Zayn versus somebody at an Evolve show.
As like a qualifier?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. That's going to be something that could end up being, like, really fun to pay attention to if you can get access to watching those other things. You're in the area, you can go to, like, an Evolve show or whatever. Or even just the WWE show itself. I'm curious what's happening there. But that could be a good spot for Eric Young, maybe. I don't think Bobby Roode really applies to the cruiserweight thing, but he could be just, you bring him in the NXT and he just does his thing. But they're both older guys, so if you are a big fan of them, don't be putting too much on them. I don't think they're really going to be like making their big main roster run or anything like that. So, those are the hot tags of the week, everybody. Make sure you leave your comments down below. Tell us what you think about these different subjects. And we're going to take a break with the Rest Hold in part 3. After that, we're going to come back and start talking about those mailbag questions you guys sent in. And then we're going to cap off the show with the Fantasy League. So stay tuned for parts 3, 4, and 5, and we'll see you there.